Hello everyone, welcome to lecture number 5, the second group of animal kingdom, that is your invertebrates. Well, today we are going to explore the world of animals that don't have backbone. Believe it or not, these creatures make up almost 95 to 97% of all animals on earth. That means most of animals you see around you like bugs, worms, snails, these are all invertebrates. So get ready, we are about to meet some of the strangest, most fascinating creatures of our planet. Alright, what are invertebrates? So, invertebrates are simply animals without a backbone. Unlike us humans who have a spine running down our back, these animals are soft bodied or have other ways to support themselves. Alright, for example, you can include worms, insects, starfish, jellyfish, and sponges. Okay, let me tell you a fun fact. Okay, about 95 to 97% of, you can say 95 to 97 out of every 100 animals are invertebrates. Isn't that amazing? That means if you counted 100 animals in the wild, only about 3 to 5 would have backbone. That's it, and the rest would be invertebrates. Okay, let's dive deep into the invertebrates. Okay, so scientists divide invertebrates into many groups, but today we'll focus on 5 amazing groups or classes. Okay, the first one is your insects, then comes the sponges, then snails and slugs, worms and starfish. Alright. Okay, first up, the insects, the group number 1. Insects, in fact, are the largest group of invertebrates. You can find them almost everywhere, like gardens, forests, deserts, even inside your home, right? They have some cool features, like their body is divided into 3 parts, as you can see here in the picture. The first one is head, then comes your middle part, that is your thorax, and the lower body is the abdomen. Okay, and they have 6 legs, they have 2 antennae, okay, that help them find the directions, and usually 2 large eyes. Okay, and most of the insects can fly, like bees, flies and beetles. Okay, so their wings and their legs are attached to their thorax, okay, the middle part. Okay, and if we talk about bees, you know the honeybees dance to talk to each other, and they use special wiggle dance to show their other bees where to find food. Isn't that cool? Okay, so you can say you can find insects almost everywhere in the world. Okay, let's move to the second group, that is your sponges. Okay, no, not SpongeBob, but real sponges that live in the ocean. Okay, in the, you can say, previously they were used by, you can say, people in many areas that live near the ocean. So they used it as SpongeBob as well, but not now. Okay, so you can say sponges are very simple animals. Their bodies are full of tiny holes called pores. Okay, and they filter water. Basically their main work is to filter water to get food and oxygen, and they have no brain, they have no heart, and they have no stomach. In other language you can say they have no digestive system, they have no circulatory system. Okay, and they have no nervous system. Okay, they live only in ocean. Okay, and you know what, sponges can live for over 2000 years, that older than most civilizations. Even though sponges look simple, they play an important role in cleaning our ocean, because their main work is to filter the water, and in turn they get their food and oxygen from it. Okay, most of their properties are like non-living things, but they are living. Okay, let's move to group 3, the snails and slugs. Now let's scroll slowly over to snails and slugs. Snails have hard shell on their back for protection, and if we talk about the slug looks similar but they don't have shell. Okay, they move using the slimy muscular foot that helps them glide along the surfaces. Alright, and you can find them in gardens, in forests, in rivers, and you can say oceans. Alright, and mostly you can find them in vegetables as well. Okay, a snail can sleep for up to 3 years. Imagine going to bed in 5th grade and waking up in the 8th grade. Okay, and they usually, you can say, can come out in the dark, you can say when it's dark, or they like to live in the dark environments. Okay, if we talk about like brown snail that you can see here in the pictures, they are, you can say, also found all over the you can say vegetables, or they also used in ornamentals, and is particularly, you can say, attracted to corn. Okay, and the smallest form, you can say, is a small. So basically the shells of these snails keep them from drying out. But if we talk about slug, they have no shell, so they are so vulnerable to drying out. Okay, and snails are mostly active in summer time. Okay, but if we talk about the slug comparatively, so they are most active in spring and autumn season. And if we talk about their diets, they are, you can say, approximately same, like they like to have veggies and flowers. And if we talk about snails, also they have, you can say, they usually like corn, etc., and other veggies. And also the sizes depends on their different species, that you can say families. Okay, and they lay eggs. Okay, but if we talk about the lifespan of snails and slug, it's different. But like slugs are, as I told you earlier, they are vulnerable to drying out, so their lifespan is approximately 1 year or less. Okay, but if we talk about snails, their shell protects it from, you can say, drying out. Okay, so their lifespan is, you can say, comparatively long, like approximately 2 to 5 years. All right. Okay, the next group is your worms. Okay, if we talk about worms, worms have long tube-like bodies with no arms or legs. Okay, mostly they live in soil, water, or sometimes even inside other animals. Maybe they are living or non-living. Okay, it doesn't matter. Earthworms are especially important because they improve the soil quality by mixing it with air, like aerating the soil, which helps the plant grow. Okay, basically they help in making the soil fertile. But some worms can also cause diseases in humans, but so not all, you can say, worms are friendly. Okay, the longest worm ever found was 55-meter long. That's, you can say, longer than a 15-story building. Can you imagine a worm that big? Okay, so worms have, you can say, so important role in decomposition as well. The dead animals and plants, apart from microorganisms like bacteria and fungi, worms also help break down the dead bodies of animals and plants, so they can just provide nutrients to the soil, and so new plants can grow from there. Okay. Okay, so everything has its role to play. Let's talk about the fifth group of invertebrates, that is your starfish. Now, for, you can say, one of the most magical creatures of the oceans. They only live in oceans, okay, and they usually have 5 arms, but some of the species can have up to 40 arms. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, if you can say, if they lose an arm, they can regrow it, a superpower humans don't have. Okay, and they don't have a brain or blood. Instead they use water to move and eat. And if we talk about the starfish, they can turn their stomach inside out to eat its food. Imagine if you could flip your stomach out at lunch cross. But amazing. Okay, so why do you say, or do you think that invertebrates are important? Why should we, you can say, why should we care about the invertebrates? Hmm? So they are essential for life on earth. As I told you earlier, everything has its role to play. Like if we talk about bees, they help to pollinate flowers, which gives us fruit and vegetables. Without pollination, there would be no food on earth. Okay, and if we talk about sponges, they keep the ocean water clean, right? They filter the water. And if we talk about worms, as I told you, they aerate the soil, they make the soil fertile for the crops. Okay, and without invertebrates, you can say, human could not survive. These tiny creatures were often, you can say, overlooked, actually keep our, you can say, world running. Okay, let's go. Let's get a quick recap of all, you can say, groups. Okay, if we talk about insects, they have 6 legs, 3 body parts, and many can fly, and their legs and wings are attached to their thorax. They have big eyes, they have antennas that help them to, you can say, find directions. And then we talk about sponges, the second group. They have body with holes, they filter the water, and in turn they get their food and oxygen, right? Then comes the snail and slugs, the third group of invertebrates. They have shell or no shell, they have slimy foot for the movement. Okay, then come the worms. Okay, they are long, they are legless bodies, they help the soil for, you can say, they help the soil to keep it fertile. Okay, they break down the dead bodies of living things, dead living things. Okay, and if we talk about the starfish, so these 5 armed animals, you can say, can regrow their limbs. Okay, so what we have learned today. Today we discovered basically the amazing world of invertebrates, the animals without backbones. Even though they don't have spine like us, they make up almost all of the animal kingdom. So we learned about amazing buzzing bees, ancient sponges, sleepy snails, giant worms, and magical starfish. So together they remind us how incredible and diverse life on earth truly is. Okay, so next time you see a little insects in your garden, remember you are looking at one of the true rulers of the animal kingdom. Okay, thank you. That's all for today. Let's meet in the next lecture.